Agatha Raisin by MC Beaton, dramatised for radio by David Semple and starring Penelope Keith as Agatha. Episode 2, The Disappearing Trick.
Yes, Chivers, I know I've been neglecting you, but you do only get one phone call from police custody.
Oh, Mrs. Raisin. It must have been such an ordeal.
It was indeed, Mrs. Bloxby. Especially going without cigarettes for 24 hours. Still, all that matters is getting my name cleared and the charges dropped.
Oh, well, you're welcome to stay at the vicarage for as long as that takes.
Oh, thank you. And thanks for looking after Chivers.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. She's the perfect house guest. And every morning she brings us a nice dead squirrel for breakfast.
Oh, Chivers.
Now, do help yourself to some toasted tea cakes and some homemade hawthorn jelly.
Is it made with actual hawthorns?
That's right. We're putting together a little cookbook at the Ladies' Society full of recipes you can make from things you find in the hedgerow.
What a pity all I ever find is dead bodies.
Oh, Mrs. Raisin, I'm so sorry. I wasn't thinking.
It's all right. It was a very short-lived marriage, and I hadn't seen Jimmy for quite a few years.
Oh, well. Oh, I do hope they find who did it soon, and then your name can be cleared.
Well, I can't wait around for the police to solve things. I'm off to London at the weekend to find out a bit about Jimmy's final days.
Oh, Mrs. Raisin, do be careful. It isn't safe in London. Although, obviously, it's not always safe around here.
Quite. Though, don't worry. I will have Roy with me.
Oh, well, at least you've got someone to keep an eye on you.
Yes, Roy can be deadly, especially if you spill his Malibu and pineapple.
So, where exactly will you be going?
Well, we're heading for a drop-in centre that Jimmy used to visit.
Yes, but hold on. Won't they know you've been charged with his murder?
Ah. Well, I'll have to think of a pseudonym, won't I?
Yeah.
But before all that, I really need to talk to James, although I know right now I'm the last person he wants to see.
Oh, yes, James.
What's the matter?
He came round this morning when you were sleeping. He said he was off to stay with his sister for a few days in Greenwich.
Oh, I see. So I get arrested for murder, and he goes swanning off to see his sister.
Well, it has all been a shock for him, too. Oh, he did leave me the keys to his cottage, and he said you could stay there just until he got back.
Oh, I wouldn't dare go into his perfect cottage. I mean, he's so pernickety. The slightest bit of fag ash on his carpet and he has a fit.
Oh, dear.
So I shall be heading straight for London, which means, Mrs. Bloxby, you've got dead squirrel on the menu for a little while longer.
Right, Aggie, walk this way and let me do the talking.
As long as you don't get arrested for indecent exposure.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, just because we're going to a homeless centre, do you have to dress like a Dickensian street urchin?
Right, Sarah, if you could take these to the laundry, please.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Do I know you?
We met a few weeks ago. My name's Roy Silver.
Oh, of course. You were an old friend of Jimmy's. And this would be...
This is my mum, Mrs. Silver.
We came to pay our condolences and to give your organisation a small donation.
Oh. Huh. Not as small as all that.
Well, we know you did such wonderful things for Jimmy in his final days.
What exactly was your connection with Jimmy Raisin?
Well...
Mother knew him years ago when they used to work in Fleet Street.
Oh, I'd forgotten Jimmy used to work in newspapers. It's ironic he ended up sleeping in them. Well, he could have written some interesting stories about his final years, if he'd only been well enough to write them down.
Really? And what stories would these be?
Mrs. Silver, I don't normally divulge information about our clients, but as he is a client no longer, Jimmy was extremely popular around here.
What are you trying to say? Was he some sort of cardboard city Casanova?
I mean, he was very good at getting people into his confidence. He had the kind of face that said, "The confession light is on, please come in." And he became a kind of agony uncle to a lot of our clients.
But how much of the agony was caused by him?
Exactly. If you told him a bit too much, he could turn from confessor to executioner.
Are you saying he used to blackmail people?
Well, as you can imagine, most of the people who use this place are on benefits. But the odd one or two may do a bit of work cash in hand. And Jimmy would see to it that he always got his cut. Or else the DSS found out.
Oh, charming. Nothing like stealing a crust of bread from the starving.
I did everything I could for Jimmy. Made sure he was clean and well-fed and looked after. But he wasn't exactly grateful. So, if it was possible for the world to find out what kind of person he was, that would suit me down to the ground.
Well, what goes around comes around. It seems at the end, Jimmy was just the same man I knew and loathed.
Aggie?
Yes?
This sister of James.
Oh, yes.
Do you know where she lives?
Yes, I do. As soon as I moved in with James, I copied his address book into my filofax.
You know, you can take being a control freak a bit too far. It comes when you start copying out all your partner's personal details into your diary.
You never know when you might need them.
Indeed. So, shall we pay them a little visit?
No, absolutely not. I'm trying not to think about James. He's probably having his Sunday lunch right now. I wonder what it is. No, he's better off without me. He's probably having a whale of a time now he hasn't got me to boss him about.
James, are you actually going to eat that?
Well, you know, I just thought I'd slide it round my plate for a little longer.
I did go to a lot of effort to make it.
Harriet, I do appreciate all the effort you're making, the constant cups of tea, and the effort to pair me up with Bunty at the bridge club.
Well, she's a very nice girl.
That woman has the personal hygiene of a warthog, a laugh like a hyena, and the appetite of a gannet. Frankly, her ideal partner would be David Attenborough.
It's her, isn't it?
Oh, Lord.
You're letting that woman have power over you. She broke your heart, and now, thanks to her, you're all skin and bone.
Yes, well, those are two of the major constituents of the human body.
Look, James, you really need to move on.
So why do you keep going on about her?
Well, why won't you have anything to eat?
Well, there could be multiple reasons. Perhaps I'm simply not in the mood for monkfish. Look, it's only been a week. You can't expect me to just snap out of it.
Oh, honestly. Well, if that's the Jehovah's Witnesses, I shall tell them I'm a Satanist. Yes?
Hello. Yes. Is James Lacey there?
Who wants to know?
Agatha Raisin. I mean, that's not me, obviously. She's waiting in the car.
Oh, the brazen Mrs. Raisin. Well, I always knew she was the Wicked Witch of the East, so I'm not surprised she sends munchkins to do her dirty work.
What's going on, Harriet? Who's... Oh, it's you.
Yes, James, it's me.
Well, I don't suppose you've come round to borrow a cup of sugar.
No, I've come here to tell you that you really need to have a word with Agatha.
Do I indeed? And what's there to talk about?
Well, she wants to say sorry and to find out how you really feel about her.
Really? Well, I'd have thought the fact that I've just moved 80 miles away from her might give some sort of clue.
Well said, James. Now push off, you horrible little man.
Look, I'm not going till you promise to talk to Aggie.
Get your foot out of my door. You're ruining my beautiful Farrow and Ball paintwork.
Well, you're not doing much for my fabulous Prada trainers.
It's all right, Harriet. You can put him down. I think I'm the one you want to strangle.
Agatha.
James. So, did you get my letters, my emails, my answer phone and text messages?
I did indeed. I pressed delete so many times I may suffer from repetitive strain injury.
James, I am so sorry about what happened, and I didn't mean to hurt you. I really thought Jimmy was dead, and when I found out he wasn't, well, by then it was too late. And I knew he was going to die eventually.
We're all going to die eventually. You really should have waited for him to make a decent fist of it. But that's the difference between you and me. When I was in the army, if we had orders to kill, it wasn't enough for the enemy to be nearly dead, or well on the way, or dead-ish. They did actually have to reach a state where their toes were turning blue.
I know what I did was wrong, but I only did it because I couldn't bear the thought of losing you.
Alas, I had similar feelings towards you, although, in retrospect, I realise I was misguided.
James.
Your phone is ringing.
It doesn't matter. This is important.
I really think you should pick up. There's clearly one person in this world who wants you.
Hello.
Well, I hope you're pleased with yourself.
What's that supposed to mean?
Really?
Picking on a poor woman when she's at her most vulnerable.
She's about as vulnerable as a Sherman tank.
When did this happen?
Breaking her heart like a tiny flower crushed underfoot.
I used to have a heart once.
Really?
Well, I find that very hard to believe.
Now, if you'll excuse me, we're finishing off our Sunday lunch.
Yes, of course.
Well, I hope you choke on a chicken bone.
Actually, we're not having chicken, we're having monkfish.
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, pardon me for messing with a man who eats monkfish.
Indeed. I'll be there right away. Thanks. Well, James, it looks as though you'll have to avoid eye contact with me for a little bit longer. Mrs. Wendell is prepared to sell my cottage back to me, so I'll be moving next door to you in a few days.
Oh, Lord.
Furthermore, the police have dropped all charges, so I'm an innocent woman.
Well, that's debatable.
And since good things come in threes, I'm off to buy a lottery ticket. Come along, Roy.
Bye.
Well, Mrs. Raisin, I suppose it's all worked out rather well. Not only do you get your house back, but I'd have the whole place redecorated.
So I see. I've never seen so many gold light fittings.
Oh, that was Roger's doing. He says you don't need to be a dame to live like Barbara Cartland. But, you know, I don't feel it's worth all the effort. I'm fed up with having to rise at 6 in the morning to make half a dozen breakfasts.
Mrs. Wendell, apart from me, I don't think you've ever had any guests.
I know, which makes the whole process all the more demoralising.
The mind boggles.
I mean, I've tried. Really, I've tried. I went down to a local restaurant to distribute flyers. The Waddling Duck. Do you know it?
I haven't been, but on a clear day I can smell their bouillabaisse.
It's supposed to have 2 Michelin stars, but in the whole restaurant there was only one person wearing a tie, and that had a picture of Homer Simpson on it. These are not my kind of people. These are people who go on holiday to Faliraki and share alcopops with people from Swindon.
Well, they'd have felt at home here.
Frankly, I feel this whole country has gone to the dogs. So I've decided to move somewhere where British values are still upheld. I'm opening a small hotel on the Falkland Islands.
Mrs. Wendell, when do you set sail?
In a few days' time, but not before my swan song performance at the village hall. We're putting on a little something with singing and dancing and scenes from Titus Andronicus. We're calling it the Carsley Talent Show.
Why are you calling it that?
Of course, I shall be doing what I usually do with Noel Coward. And if there's time, I shall try and wrap my tonsils round Ivor Novello. Are you coming?
I think I'm busy that night. When is it?
On Saturday at 1 o'clock sharp. But, you know, even show business doesn't have the same allure that it used to. Once the audiences sat there absolutely rapt, hanging on to my every aphorism. Now they sit there unwrapping boiled sweets, hanging on till the cream tea in the interval. So you see, I'm just an old actress who's lost her motivation.
Oh, Mrs. Raisin, thank you so much for helping.
No bother at all, Mrs. Bloxby. Anyway, I always think these concerts sound much better from the kitchen.
Yes, just listen to Mrs. Wendell. We're trying to raise money to repair the roof, but I think at this rate we might need a new one.
Or a whole new village.
Do you know, there was a misprint in the programme. Apparently she's performing a medley from the Pilates of Penzance.
I tried Pilates once. They've been absolute agony, but not as much as this.
But we shall miss her when she's in the Falklands.
Yes, they were probably still here. Oh, and I pity those poor penguins.
Yes.
Mrs. Bloxby?
Yes, dear.
When did she decide to set sail?
Oh, it was all rather sudden, really. I think it was just after the police dropped their charges against you.
Oh, really?
Yes. Well, that's the refreshments already. Shall we go and catch the end of Act 1?
Oh, yes. It's Bill Wong doing whatever it is he does.
Oh, let's take the trolley with us, shall we? I think people might be glad of a cup of tea.
Well, they've certainly earned it.
Grace, thy steps we trace. Thank you,
Constable Wong, and he's going to be performing feats of mystery and imagination, and they'll be followed by a much welcome cup of tea. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Wong.
Go on, Bill.
Hello. Now, for my first trick, I'm going to be needing a volunteer from the audience. Now, how about you, madam?
I'm just off to get changed.
Oh, no, I think we all want to see Mrs. Wendell in my magic cabinet, don't we, ladies? Come here and mind your feather bow in the door, will you? Mrs. Wendell, in you go. That's it. Gently does it. Now, I close the door and I say the magic words. Hocus pocus, let's have a beer, make Mrs. Wendell disappear. Oh, where is she gone? Well, I'll just file a missing persons report, and then I say, hocus pocus, come back, my beauty. One more beer, not while I'm on duty. Hang on a minute. Where is she gone?
I'm not surprised you can't find her, Bill. Can't find your brains on a good day.
Thank you, Mrs. Pocket. Thank you.
Mrs. Bloxby.
Yes, dear.
Could you hold the fort for a minute? I have a disappearing act of my own to do.
Oh, yes, of course. Okay, everybody, tea's being served. Mrs. Asquith, could you come and lend a hand?
Mrs. Wendell?
Oh, Mrs. Raisin, you caught me by surprise.
Not half as surprised as Bill Wong was when he found his magic cabinet empty.
Oh, yes, I feel dreadful about that. I just suddenly had an attack of claustrophobia.
Indeed, there were 100 people who witnessed your terror.
Well, I must get back. Lots of packing and so forth.
I'll come with you.
You can come as far as my threshold, but I'm afraid I'm far too busy to ask you in for tea.
Oh, a cup of tea is the last thing I was hoping for.
Very well, then, but quick six, I've got lots to do.
Oh, you can't go that way.
What? Why ever not?
Well, Mulberry Street's closed for the burst water main, but we could cut across Hunter's Field.
All right, Hunter's Field it is, then.
I must say it's come as a bit of a surprise to everyone that you're leaving, having been part of village life for so long.
Really? Well, I can think of many reasons one might wish to leave England, and if you don't know them, I suggest you read the Daily Mail.
Interesting that you made your decision just after the police dropped their charges against me.
I wasn't aware of the precise timing. The whole world doesn't revolve around you, you know.
I imagine when the police let me go and started looking for new suspects, 1 or 2 people must have been very anxious.
Well, I'm sure the murderer was. Whoever he or she might be.
Yes, they must have been. Almost as anxious as you were when D.C. Wong led you into a small, dark cabinet and closed the door.
Mrs. Raisin, you seem to be off on one of your reveries again.
Hardly surprising. After all, we are in the exact spot where Jimmy was murdered.
Are we? Oh, I didn't know that.
I went for a walk in the middle of the night and I happened to bump into Jimmy. We had a blazing row, at the end of which I pushed him backwards into this ditch.
Oh.
Only I now realise Jimmy and I weren't alone. Someone had followed me here, and when I was gone, they stayed and finished off what I'd started.
Oh, how very tragic.
Are you all right, Mrs. Wendell?
Yes. Why shouldn't I be?
You seem to be fingering your pearls.
Well, it unsettles me, talking about that poor man.
And yet you never met Jimmy. Or did you?
Mrs. Raisin, what are you insinuating?
Mrs. Wendell, believe me, I'm the only person in the world who knows what you went through. Jimmy had a horrible habit of hurting women. He spent weeks using his silver-tongued charm on them, but as soon as they were under his spell, he would put the boot in. Now, I don't know what he did to you, but I promise you, you don't have to suffer alone.
Mrs. Raisin, of all the people in the world I could unburden my heart to, I never thought I'd choose you. I met Jimmy just over 20 years ago. It was when my husband Norman and I were first married. You never met Norman, did you? But he was a wonderful man, big and broad-shouldered, but with puppy dog's eyes. And in those days, everything between us was almost perfect.
Except?
Except we couldn't have children. Norman said not to worry, we had each other, but I kept thinking if we didn't have a family, what was going to keep us together when my charms started to fade? My doctor seemed to think the problem lay with Norman rather than me, but he refused to accept there was a problem. He said, just give it time. The stork will arrive when it's good and ready.
Yes, men are awfully good at burying their heads in the sand. But where does Jimmy come into this?
On our 5th wedding anniversary, Norman whisked me away to the most wonderful hotel in West London. I mean, we're talking crystal chandeliers in every bathroom. But sometimes, if you're in the most beautiful surroundings, it only makes you realise how lonely you are inside.
I know the feeling well.
Jimmy Raisin was working in that hotel as a bar steward. A frightfully dangerous occupation for someone with his condition. And every evening, as I lost myself in a creme de menthe, he used to look at me with his beautiful emerald eyes.
Yes, they were beautiful when they weren't swimming.
Oh, Mrs. Raisin, this is so hard to say, but I won't be free till I've said it. Sometimes, when Norman was snoring, I would go downstairs for a nightcap. Jimmy poured me a drink and I poured out my troubles. And after one drink led to another and another, I let him take a long, hard look into my well of loneliness. And when we were both up to our necks, so to speak, he told me that he could give me the most wonderful gift that would probably save my marriage. He could give me the gift of a baby.
I can almost hear him say it. He had the power to make you believe that everything would turn out just right, just perfect, just the way you dreamed.
I know. And all I could dream about was having a baby. I know it sounds sordid, but we were strangers in the night. For one insane moment, it seemed the answer to my prayers. Jimmy did bear an extraordinary resemblance to Norm. So if our liaison should have borne fruit, the baby would have had Norman's puppy dog eyes and Norman's perfect little nose.
So you went to bed with Jimmy?
Not to bed as such. We made love behind the bar on a packing crate containing 200 bottles of Canada Dry. 9 months later, my son Edward was born. He was gorgeous. I mean, he still is gorgeous. And for one magical moment, it looked like we were all going to live happily ever after.
There's always a twist in the tale?
Yes. I forgot that as an employee of the hotel, Jimmy was able to find out where I lived, and he naturally turned up to wet the baby's head.
He was a very hard man to get rid of.
Indeed, and he stood on my doorstep, demanding to see our son. But Norman was home, and he heard every word. He sent Jimmy away, but the damage was already done. It poisoned our marriage. Norman never forgave me, and in time, he even turned Edward against me. I mean, Eddie's at college now, but he never phones. He never writes.
When you first met me, Mrs. Wendell, you must have been a bit surprised by my surname. I mean, Raisin's not the most common of names.
It did surprise me, and it wasn't long before the penny dropped. It's a very small world, Mrs. Raisin. But then, broken-hearted women always seem to gravitate towards villages, in much the same way that drunks move to big cities.
A month before my wedding, you were very keen to find out if Jimmy was still alive. At first, I thought you were just being nosy. But now I realise you wanted to know if he'd be coming to the wedding or not.
That's right, Mrs. Raisin, because the very thought of it made my blood run cold. And when I heard he was here, I could feel the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. But I thought, stay calm, wait for him to leave. I won't see him, I won't talk to him. but you left the house in the middle of the night, and I couldn't resist the temptation to follow.
Mrs. Wendell, it took a lot of courage for you to tell me this. And now, I really think you should tell the police. Because even if you run away, the pain will go with you, and you'll never be free. Jimmy will have you in his power forever.
I couldn't tell the police. I mean, they wouldn't understand what I've been through. What Jimmy led me to.
Well, then I will gladly stand up in court and tell the world what a monster Jimmy was, and quite how far I would have gone to get rid of him.
But that's just the thing. We'll never get rid of him.
What do you mean?
Oh, Jimmy hasn't gone. He's still here. He's lying over there in that ditch.
Mrs. Wendell, I'm not falling for that.
Oh.
There is someone.
It's all right, ladies. It's only me. And I'd like you both to accompany me to the police station.
Oh, poor Mrs. Wendell.
Yes, I don't exactly approve of what she did, but I can understand exactly what led her to it.
I do hope prison isn't too much of a trial.
Oh, she's a tough old bird.
Yes, yes. And of course, they do have drama groups and singing. She could even put on concerts for all the other inmates.
And for once in her life, she's got a captive audience. Right. Now, there's just the small matter of making peace with James.
Oh, yes. James.
I mean, why does he still have to avoid me? I know I did a terrible thing, but he surely knows what I've just been through.
Well, it's not so much that he's avoiding you. It's more that he isn't actually here anymore.
Oh, he hasn't gone back to Greenwich, surely?
No, a little bit further afield. Corsica.
What? But that's where we were going for our honeymoon. How could he?
Oh, Mrs. Raisin, it hasn't been easy for James either, but I think he just wanted a little bit of peace and quiet and some time on his own.
Really? Well, James, that may be what you want, but I'm coming to get you.
In Agatha Raisin, Penelope Keith starred as Agatha and Malcolm Sinclair was James. Harriet was played by Belinda Lang and Mrs. Bloxby by Liza Sadovy. Stephen Hogan was D.C. Wong. James Holmes, Roy. Tina Gray, Mrs. Wendell, and Tim Whitnell was Martin. Agatha Raisin was dramatised by David Semple from the novel by M.C. Beaton, and the producer was Carol Smith.